What does it take to master an art so precise it defies time itself? This is the story of Lena, a fiery apprentice who dared to challenge the impossible. In the heart of a bustling city stood a small shop with a faded wooden sign that read, Master Elias, Clockmaker. Inside, the walls ticked and talked in unison with countless clocks, each handmade, each flawless. Master Elias was renowned, but his shop had grown quieter over the years. People said his standards were impossibly high, and few dared to apprentice under him. But one did. Lena, a fiery 17-year-old with calloused hands and dreams bigger than her patience, knocked on the shop's door one rainy morning. She'd heard the stories, how Elias once built a clock that ran perfectly for 20 years without a single adjustment. She wanted to learn from the best. Elias opened the door, peered at her soaked figure and said, "You'll need more than eagerness to make it here." Lena straightened. "I'll do whatever it takes." The old clockmaker raised a skeptical eyebrow, but gestured her inside. For the first week, Elias gave Lena no tools, no designs, only sandpaper and a pile of wood. "Smooth them until they feel like glass," he instructed. By the third day, Lena's fingers were raw. "How does this help me build clocks?" she muttered, eyeing the untouched tools on the workbench. Elias, as if hearing her thoughts, spoke without looking up from his work. "A clock is unforgiving. A rough edge, a poorly made cog, and time itself rebels. Discipline isn't just doing the work, it's doing it right every time." Frustrated but determined, Lena sanded until her hands steadied and her touch grew precise. Weeks turned into months. Elias finally allowed Lena to assemble gears. Her excitement faltered when she realized how tedious it was, fitting each tiny tooth perfectly into place. Many nights she wanted to quit. Yet, each time Elias would remind her, "The clock doesn't care about your frustration. It only cares about precision." One day, after Lena completed her first mechanism, Elias examined it for a long time. Then, he pointed out a nearly invisible flaw. "Redo it." Lena's temper flared. "It works fine." Elias fixed her with a sharp gaze. "Fine isn't good enough, not for time." She stayed up all night, reassembling the mechanism, muttering curses under her breath. But when she finally finished, it was flawless. The satisfaction she felt was unlike anything she'd known. A year passed, and Lena had learned to craft every piece of a clock. But Elias had one final challenge. He handed her a blueprint for a clock unlike any she'd seen. Its gears intricately woven, its design almost impossibly complex. "This," he said, "will test everything you've learned. You have 1 month." Lena worked tirelessly, often forgetting to eat or sleep. She made mistakes, dismantled her progress, and started over more times than she could count. Each time she remembered Elias's words, "Discipline isn't a punishment, it's a path." On the final day, Lena presented the clock to Elias. It was beautiful, its golden hands gliding effortlessly over an ebony face. Elias inspected it in silence, then wound it. The room held its breath as the clock ticked to life, its sound steady and perfect. Elias nodded, a rare smile softening his features. "You've learned not just to build clocks, but to master yourself. That is the true art." Years later, Lena opened her own shop, her clocks renowned across the land. When asked how she became so skilled, she would smile and say, "Master Elias taught me that discipline isn't just about time. It's about respecting the effort it takes to make something timeless." And in a quiet corner of her shop stood the golden clock she had built, ticking steadily, a testament to the power of discipline. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Adios.